Another day in the NBA here, and the work is about to begin on the Splash Play channel. Do the same thing we always do here. We're going to dig into my projections compared to the one that industry leaders out there. Our friends are at Stokastic. We'll see who the top plays are, who the top value plays are. We'll also go game by game. We'll check the ownership along the way, see where the leverage lies. We'll hop over to Stokastic, run a sim without my interference, see who the top ROI lineups are. I'll do a hand build. By the end of this video, guys, you'll know all of the industry's must plays along with my splash plays for today, February 10th, 2026. Let's get into it. It was a good slate for you guys yesterday. I feel like I had a not great main slate, had a very good night slate though, so was kind of been testing some different things here with my own approach here, using my splash play data and all that stuff, the sim stuff I've been working on as well. Did also increase, I always tell you guys, like, use Stokastic stuff for getting idiot-proof DFS lineups, giving yourself a shot to win without very much downside in terms of the lineups you're going to play. For me, what I'm going to give you here on this channel is I got more sims than anybody else right now. I'm running 100,000 sims. So I figured out basically the last couple weeks how to get the accuracy where I want it to be. Now that's accurate, running really well, got the speed up as well, and now I can run the most sims of anybody that I know DFS-wise. So does that mean a lot? Not necessarily. Some of the reason you would go to run 25,000 sims, 50,000 sims as opposed to 10,000 is that it just, you have the time to do it, basically. So I gave it an option for myself here where, I don't know if I could show it to you guys here on this screen. Yeah, actually, you can see it. If I click rerun here, I can put in any amount of sims I want to run for things. So I could run 100,000, 10,000, 25,000. I could also run a random odd number if I wanted to as well. That's sort of the things I'm working on for myself. You guys as well can come along the ride here every Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. as I build little things of whimsy, of course. And shout out to guys like Zach. Zach did have a nice day in the pick'em streets yesterday. Mentioned it on the Splash Play Discord. So shout out to guys like Zach. Shout out to all you guys out there that are having wins. And shout out to you guys that aren't having wins, but are still working hard at this every single day. No matter what's going on, you're showing up and doing something for NBA, and that's all we can ever do. Well, let's get into it, guys, with our top projected plays, as always here. And it starts with Kawhi Leonard facing Houston. So tough matchup on paper, 10K salary for Kawhi. Also not the greatest price tag in the world, but I do have him at 49.9 projection today. Stokastic has him at 48.6, so a little bit lower. With me getting him as a 5X value, that means he makes 21% of my winning lineups right now. And again, that's a 100,000 contest sim, so it's a pretty good number here of Kawhi making it in there. But that projection at that salary with that matchup, I think you definitely are, it would be fair to raise some questions about Kawhi in the spot, to feel maybe not the most confident in it. But the big thing is that he gets the massive rate upticks with having no James Harden out there anymore. And for Kawhi, relative to this matchup today and the total and who's available for the Clippers, and there's one thing to note too, that's Stokastic with Benedict Mathurin likely making his debut. Currently in their data, they're only giving Mathurin about 10 minutes, which I think would, if Mathurin were to start, if you were to play more than Stokastic's currently giving him, I think Kawhi's projection would come down a little bit. But with Mathurin assumed to not be playing a lot, Kawhi, despite having a pretty bad total for the Clippers today, you're expecting Kawhi to put up about 1.5 fantasy points a minute. So I'm cool with Kawhi. I do think he'll look less appealing projection-wise if Mathurin gets the minutes that I would expect that he should play, in his debut. And certainly for Mathurin, him being the key part of a trade for James Harden, you got to expect that he thinks he deserves some of that usage that's Harden's leaving behind. So I think for Kawhi, that's something that would knock his projection down. But no matter what, you probably want to get some exposure because it is only a 4-game slate today. And Kawhi is going to be one of your better per minute producers as long as the Clippers don't get absolutely rolled today in Houston. Hit for $18 off 50 cents. All right, hey, it's all relative. It's glad to hear that too. Again, doesn't mean just because you're winning millions doesn't mean it's any better than winning hundreds of dollars for some folks. So really glad to hear that as well. And again, keep up the good work. Victor Wembanyama, we got 5X value on him, 48.9 projection for me. Stokastic at 48.5, obviously going against the Lakers, which today should be down Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves is the assumption right now. Could potentially be down LeBron as well, on a back-to-back. But for Wemby in this spot, $9,700 salary, I think he, in my opinion, seems like a slightly better play than Kawhi, just relative to the matchup and the fact that he's slightly cheaper. But Wemby right now, the field's at 26%. I'm getting 33. And it's really one of those things for you, Wemby, if you guys watch the videos, Wemby, not a guy that often pops up so much higher than Stokastic in my data. It's not one of those things where my data has a bias towards him. I think it really does reflect the fact that it's a good total today for the Spurs on a slate where we don't have a lot of games, and Wemby himself at 9,700, probably a little bit underpriced for what his role is now as a guy that's seemingly getting to about 30 minutes in most games, or can get to them when the game's competitive. Alperen Sengun at number 3, power forward center, 9,500, facing the Clippers team that, in terms of the defense, got to be getting worse going against bigs. No Zubac around anymore. But Sengun at a 44.3 projection for me, 43.5 for Stokastic. That only gets me 14%. The field's at 10. So for Sengun, about a 4.7x value. Looks less good in my data than Kawhi and Wemby. But certainly, 10% ownership. The ceiling is there for Sengun. Go against the Clippers as well. Low pace spots. You're expecting there to be a few less stats to go around that can help Sengun, get a triple-double, get some of the steals and blocks that he had. And I would say a pretty noteworthy response to all the viral clips of him playing such terrible defense. The fact that he went a little bit harder after blocks and steals, at least in that next game, maybe gives you some hope as to what he can be, if not, in terms of actually defending guys as they attack the rim. Maybe he'll get a few more defensive peripherals just through effort and the embarrassment of being such a bad defender so far and getting yelled at on video by Kevin Durant. But Alperen Sengun, I think really the 10% ownership, that's the reason you're getting there. If you do get there, he's going to be one of your very few guys amongst all these top projected players under 10% owned. You got Kawhi at 23, Wemby at 26 for the field, LeBron at 48, hence my skeptical face in the thumbnail. Cooper Flagg at 23, only Kevin Durant, his teammate, under 10%. So if Houston somehow hits an outlier score today against a low-pace Clippers team, Sengun could benefit and certainly get there at low ownership. LeBron, 48% owned by the field. I'm getting him much lower today. Again, hence my skeptical face. That's my projection for LeBron is higher than Stokastic's, which is odd. I have him at 43.6. They have him at about 43, rounding up. So despite him being so lowly projected, I think he'll make half the field's lineups. LeBron has been a rate winner for having no Luka and no Austin Reeves out there this year so far. LeBron has put up 1.54 DK points per minute in about 480 possessions this year without Luka and Austin Reeves. So decent sample size, not quite the 1,000 possessions we're looking for rates to get fully stable moving forward. But, definitely enough to note that he does become at least closer to old LeBron, which is not around super often these days. But LeBron, 48%, it's a lot for him. It's not a spot like Jokic yesterday where the ceiling is there, the floor is there pretty much no matter what. For LeBron, I think the ceiling is there, but he played the Thunder. He looked, I would say, the oldest he's looked in recent weeks yesterday. Going against the Spurs today, another similar situation. You have good wing defenders and plentiful amounts of them to throw at him. And then you also have the concentrated attention. There's no Austin Reeves to take that pressure off them on the slate. So for LeBron at 8,900, I get why the field's getting there, but if this game isn't competitive, I just don't think it would be shocking. And LeBron in a back-to-back, assuming that he does go today, we don't have the Lakers injury report out yet. I just don't know that he's the greatest chalk in the world, even on a 4-game slate. Cooper Flagg, field's at 23 right now. According to Stokastic data, I'm at 30%. Flagg, point guard, small forward matchup, or positionality for him, rather. Good matchup against Phoenix, or at least the league average matchup, rather, going against their defense. And frankly, Phoenix, too, getting Booker back in, getting Jalen Green back in, does make that defense a bit worse than it was while these guys were out. But Cooper Flagg, the usage has been there for him overall. With Anthony Davis off the court this year, he's been at about a 28% usage rate and change, 22% assist rate, 1.2 DK points per minute, and that's at now 1,750 possessions. So we're really stable there. Do you like Flagg more when you get a PJ Washington or a Brandon Williams type out, just a little more usage to fully float his way? For Cooper Flagg, though, think he does project about 2 points higher for me, and I'm happy to be above the field right now at 30% and the field at 23. Karl-Anthony Towns facing a Pacers team that's not going to get Zubac back until sometime after the All-Star break. So you're getting the crappy center rotation there for Towns. $8,300 salary, not too bad. Mitchell Robinson out as well for the front end of a back-to-back, I believe, for the team. As for Towns at $8,300, about a 5.2x value. Getting the field at 38%. I am getting 45%. So the big thing right now for Karl-Anthony Towns is that I think relative to my ownership, he's a better player than LeBron. Wemby as well at center. I feel like a build with Wemby and Towns is going to be a thing that comes up a lot for me today, but really the spot against Indiana here, not a bad one at all. And the price tag for Catch feels a little bit too cheap on a day where you don't have Mitchell Robinson. Promo code. There's no promo code for my data. You go check out the link down below if you want to join splashplaypodcast.com. Join the YouTube channel. If you want to join Stokastic, promo code SPLASH. But I'm confused by a super chat saying promo code, but I appreciate the super chat regardless. But promo code SPLASH if you want to check out Stokastic. That's the promo code that I have. Jalen Brunson, so not really getting a rate uptick or anything for no Mitchell Robinson, but decent price tag at 8,800. Not a bad matchup as well. For the Pacers, really the thing that they're doing lately is tanking in more, more organic ways, less obvious ways than teams like Utah, the not playing guys in a competitive fourth quarter game, and still somehow beating Miami the other day. For Indiana, what they're doing is if the game's competitive, then you'll see Nemhart, Siakam play about 30 minutes. The rotation will be normal. If the game is one where it's like, oh, they're playing this other crappy team, they might pull the starters early or just not play them in a game as they did against, I think it was Utah fairly recently. So going against the Knicks, I'm expecting the starters to get the full amount of run here. That doesn't help Brunson out necessarily either. But at 8,800, okay play. Fields 24%. I'm also at 24. Just not a noteworthy play today on the slate. Kevin Durant, I think Josh said it well on the Stokastic show this morning. He said, like, Durant, you see him get 35, 2-2 on pretty much every slate. And I feel like that's probably about right. She's not doing a lot peripherally. Shooting guard, small forward. Only a 4.3x value at a 9K salary. I'd rather find money to get to Şengün if I am going to play a Clipper today. But, certainly Kevin Durant facing a Clippers team that is not particularly good and low paced. Maybe gets more half court shots and he can get hot, and obviously score a lot of points in that kind of situation. But I'm just trying to make a reason to play Durant. Besides the fact that he's low owned, he's 6% owned. I got 9%, I think, for that reason alone. But Durant, projection wise, at a 4.3x value, does not seem like the guy for me. And Devin Booker, similar thing here. Fields at 33%. I'm at 28. For Phoenix at this point, team's mostly at full strength. Not an awful total for Phoenix today, going against Dallas, at least relative to this slate. You got 119 implied points for them. They're 229.5. I believe is actually the best total in the slate combined. So in that situation, maybe that does mean Booker has a higher ceiling. But really one of the spots for me with Booker that I'm not really thinking that, there's anything too special here. Thank you, Jack. Another super chat. Yes, for code for tools. There's no code. Again, just join the channel down below and you'll get access to it. There's details when you signed up about how to make everything sync up the right way with Discord so you can sign in. But yes, there's also a deal for if you get through Tails Odd Shopper, or Odd Shopper's Tails rather, I think you could save $10 right now if you join down below. I don't promote that one on stream too much because it does, just it's only getting integrated right now loosely. But check it out, link down below and check it out. How many times can I say check it out? We're going to sort by value here, guys. Before we do that, one ask, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And I think this video is going to get a few less views today because it's only a 4-game slate, even though Tuesdays usually do pretty well. The fact there's not a lot of NBA games, I get it. But you guys really came through in a major way yesterday. Hit over 270 likes, I think close to 280. It's the most likes ever on a video on the channel. So really appreciate it. If you guys can keep hitting that like button here, the goal every time. And it really is not even a goal. It's like every time we get 200 plus likes, the video gets over 2,000 views. So that's just what the growth process looks like on a YouTube channel, especially when you are an independent creator like me, just showing up and doing the work every day. I'll do the best I can for you guys Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. as always, but please show some love back by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel so you can see whenever I put something else out. Check out Stokastic as well. Promo code SPLASH over at Stokastic gets you 15% off over there. And like I mentioned earlier, really the best way to get idiot-proof DFS lineups in a good way, where if you want to play this shitty player X, great player Y, it doesn't matter which one you want to play or how you want to play them, they'll give you the best lineups for it. And those lineups will be live, give you a shot to win. I got to put in some night lineups yesterday. Somebody who's a Stokastic user won first place. That's how it goes pretty much night after night in the NBA. So check it out, link down below, and then use that promo code SPLASH when you get over there for 15% off any package, weekly, monthly, yearly even, any sport you want as well. And last but not least, join the channel here, $5. Why is this not? There you go. $5 to join. If you want to get into the live chats in the Discord, it is $5 here. If you also want to get my data, join the Squirt Squad tier, join the VIP tiers down below, and you get all the stuff on splashplaypodcast.com. And again, more and more. And as I said, now, most sims run in the biz for my data. I run 100,000 sims before the show to see where things align. So you'll know we're coming about it with sheer volume, if not competence. But honestly, I feel really good about the sim. I've really been working hard on it because, with NFL ramping down, had some more time to get back to Claude coding stuff and really browbeating AI until the product looks good enough. And I feel like we're in good shape with that stuff and soon to be for MLB as well. All right, top value plays for today, Jared Vanderbilt. So this is something where I'll point out, and again, another thing that my good friend Josh Engelman said as well on the Stokastic strategy show. For the Lakers, who starts is going to matter a lot because the Lakers might even end up more shorthanded than expected right now, where the current assumption, the data, is that you have no Luka Doncic, you have no Austin Reeves. I think there's a chance you have no LeBron here playing in a back-to-back after, I would say, a pretty physically taxing matchup against the Thunder yesterday. You even talked about how, them being young, competitive, able to play defense for 48 minutes. That's why they're champion, and that's why the Lakers aren't. It was a quote from LeBron yesterday. This wouldn't shock me to see LeBron get ruled out. We don't have the injury report yet. for LA. But as it is right now, Stokastic giving decent minutes to Jared Vanderbilt, a lot of minutes for Luke Kennard. These guys are going to be major values. Maxi Kleber getting 28 minutes as well. He's not a great per minute producer, but at 3,700, he'll come up. If you get LeBron out, all the Lakers will come up even more because then you'll be down, potentially Austin Reeves, LeBron, and Luka. And obviously, we know what that means. All that usage, all his possessions going around. Somebody's got to score points still, no matter what the matchup is. So for the Lakers right now, they're all going to be top values. But as it is currently, with the minutes being about 24.6 for Vanderbilt, he looks like the best value of the Lakers. And he's currently 32% owned by the field. He's making 64% of my winning lineups across those 100,000 contest sims. So for Jared Vanderbilt here, I think it is one of those spots where he'll come up a lot. I don't know if he's a better player than any other Laker in particular, like a Rui. Like Rui can actually, make some shots. Vanderbilt's got to get there mostly through rebounding and shots right at the rim. But any Laker you're going to get, you got to take them because the Lakers are going to be so undervalued with the guys they have out. Micah Potter, with the no Zubac debut today, means Potter going to still be playing minutes at the 4/5, $3,500 salary for him. About a 20.1 projection for me. Stokastic is at 17, so that gets him in 48% of my winning lineups. Fields only at 22. Really not great value on the slate besides whatever comes out from the Lakers. So Micah Potter, one of those other value guys that comes up in a spot, again, where I do expect the Pacers to be willing to play their starters, more than usual because I don't think they're going to be at risk of, beating the Knicks handily. So that might make Micah Potter slightly less appealing, I suppose. But he'll probably play his 21-ish minutes no matter what. Luke Kennard, $4,100 salary. Got to fill in a lot of shot making and shot creation for a Lakers team that's got nobody left of note at this point. He's getting right now 30 minutes from Stokastic. That might be a bit much, but it does get me about a 22.5 projection. Gets Stokastic about a 23.9 projection. That means he's in 34% of the field's lineups and about 2% of my winning lineups. So Luke Kennard, much like Vanderbilt, your premier Lakers currently, with a lot of opportunity to go around, but the price tags look good for Vanderbilt and Kennard no matter what. Production, we'll see. Definitely you'll feel better if these guys are starting. Laravia pops sometimes, but he's inconsistent as fuck, hard to trust. Laravia not definitely priced as competitively as guys like Vanderbilt, Kennard, and Kleber today, so that doesn't help him out either. Karl Anthony Towns, $8,300 salary here. 38% owned by the field, 45% for me. We talked about it already, just good match versus Indiana, with them not having any bigs of note at this point. Again, Zubac being in today, which I think initially a lot of people would have thought before the report came out that he won't play until after the All-Star break. Definitely would have been a tougher matchup getting him. So going against Jay Huff, going against Micah Potter, going against Jarris Walker, it's just a joke for Towns if he does put himself to the metal a little bit more. So I would say for Towns, good play here. And the fact he's coming up as a top value despite being 8,300 kind of says it all. TJ McConnell, $4,200 salary. Got another guy I think will play his normal run of minutes because of the fact that the Pacers should be in a game where they're not going to win. But $4,200, about a 21.8 projection for me, 23.1 for Stokastic on McConnell. Not a great play, but about a 25% play. Fields at 27. That seems where about McConnell should land as a value play that can produce a lot per minute, but the minutes won't ever get that high. Maxi Kleber at 3,700. They just need to fill minutes at this point. Kleber, one of those guys they could fill minutes with. Stokastic giving him 27.6 minutes. Feels like a little bit much. He's not a great producer. Even with those about 28 minutes, you're only getting an 18.9 projection for me. Even lower from Stokastic at 16.5. But he can knock down some threes. You get some blocks. So the field's going to be a 10%. Do you think you want to be above the field? Right now I'm getting 16. Yannick Niederhauser. No guarantee that he is in the rotation for 20 minutes. You could get Brook Lopez out there a little bit more, I suppose. Isaiah Jackson could play more minutes too with his trade from the Pacers. But Niederhauser right now getting 19.6 minutes, 3,400. I'd feel better about whatever Lakers value you get. I'd feel better about the Pacers semi-value with Potter and McConnell. But Niederhauser as a pivot to those guys, 3,400 a game where maybe they get blown out by Houston. It's a possibility. I think that he's an okay play at 4% owned. I'm getting 16 right now, the same amount as Kleber. And I guess he's an okay pivot to Kleber, but it's a lot of ownership for me for Kleber and Niederhauser. I think it speaks to this price tag of around $3,500 center, being a value play you might need to get the guys that kind of put up the big days around it, as we always talk about. So Niederhauser, not a great play, but he is a play coming up. Stephon Castle, 26% for the field. I'm getting 35% of my winning lineups right now. Castle always got the pops a little bit in my data going against a Lakers team that's going to be undermanned and not particularly competent, most likely. Can be a spot he can rack up some points and, in particular, some assists to his teammates. And Victor Wembanyama, we got right now, again, it's a top value here, despite being one of your highest projected guys and highest salary guys. So Wemby, Karl-Anthony Towns, definitely some pivots to the center value we have in the slate. Shout out our guy Georgia re-signing here. Glad to see you back in. Yes. Trade deadline's over. You're back. Well, things are starting to stabilize, it seems. And then we'll get back into the unstable parts of things when everybody's tanking even more after the All-Star break. We'll go game by game here. Before I do that, guys, again, one more ask. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. You guys know the deal here. I am just one guy showing you my work every single day across the NBA, and it means a lot when you guys hit that like button and subscribe on the channel. And again, when you do that, number one, you get to see my video in your feeds more likely, but also you're giving me a shot to keep breaking through that YouTube glass ceiling that they give you, where basically you need to keep getting likes to getting the views up, and it's stupid, but you get how it works. So just keep hitting the like button, keep subscribing, and I'll keep doing my part, showing up here and being as impossibly prepared, even, let's say, every single day. Check out Stokastic as well, 15% off, link down below, promo code SPLASH over there. You guys know the deal. Again, great site to get in great lineups for DFS every single night, no matter what you want to play. Check it out for yourself. Use that promo code SPLASH over there to get 15% off. Best deal they have going right now for everything on that site over at Stokastic. And last but not least, for this round of plugs, join the channel here, $5 to join. You guys know the deal. Join down below. And of course, if you join the Squirt Squad and the VIP tiers, you get all the data I'm showing you guys here. And real fast, the Tour de France, the Tour de Products really is more of the accurate way to say it. You can see on the Squirt Squad tier, you get this screen, my matchup screen, also all the advanced stats. When you click this little stats plus button here, you can see how often they shoot at the rim, things like that, points per 100 possessions, things that I think are important that you might want to look at for more insights. The projection matrix screen, the most important one, especially on your mobile phone, very easy to scroll through, see the top projected plays, top value plays, and all that. I was actually thinking I should show you guys top projected plays and top value plays on the screen to try to sell this more, but really the matrix for a lot of you guys out there that are just kind of hand builders, I think this is the most valuable screen you'll have, and you get access to it by joining the Squirt Squad tier down below for $25 a month. VIP stuff, you get my Spags projections here, exportable however you want, copy paste them, CSV, do whatever you want with them once they're published, and they are available for FanDuel as well. Not the salaries, I don't pull those in, but just the projection. My simulations as well, again, 100,000 contest sims coming in here now, so you get to see really stable data across that. See things like how often guys are making winning lineups. That's a sim rate here. The leverage versus ownership, how much they're hitting 30 points plus, 40 points plus, 5xing, 6xing, all of that. And if you want to make stochastic sim datas with my projection, or stochastic sims rather with my projections, you do that too with the export here on the VIP tier. So lots of stuff if you join the channel down below. I'm always keeping an open mind as well if you guys have requests for things I could do. Really mostly, repurposing my data in the same ways. But let me know. Happy to do what I can to get you guys on board. So join down below, Squirt Squad or VIP tiers. And if you have feedback, you want things you want to see if you're a member, let me know, and I'm happy to try to figure it out, especially over the All-Star break. All right, game by game here. We got Knicks Pacers, 225.5 combined points. Not a great total. Pacers, 107 implied points. Also not one of the better totals on the slate. That said here, you got Micah Potter coming up a lot for me, getting 48% of the field to 22. Potter at 3,500, like we saw with some of the other cheap center plays. I'm getting the mix as values. Maxi Kleber, the field we'll get to as well. These guys make your lineups work better because you need a player who's around 3,400, 3,500, 3,700 in Kleber's case that allows you to get the guys that have real ceilings around them. So Potter's coming up a lot. Don't think it's a particularly great play, even though he is on paper to me about a 5.7x value. But he's been producing about 0.88, 0.9 fantasy points per minute on the year. Counting for the matchups today and who's available for Indiana, I'd have him at 0.94 fantasy points per minute. So Micah Potter, I think a good play, but I'd be happy to get better value if anything opened up. TJ McConnell, like I mentioned, I think the Pacers should be mostly full go today because the Knicks should win decently as an 11.5 point favorite. McConnell playing his 18 minutes and change off the bench. That can mean in some situations, 30 plus fantasy points. Right now, the projection for me is only about 22. Stokastic has about 23. McConnell, a good value. And I think the kind of guy where if you're worried about, I would say not the Lakers value, I think you want to take whatever you get there. But you don't like Potter, you don't like whatever other value kind of comes up. McConnell is good value who will produce fairly well. I mean, producing 1.2 fantasy points a minute. Really one of your better per minute guys coming off the bench in the league. Jarris Walker fields at 19%. I'm getting 12. Not a great play to me at 5,500, but you just get guys like that sometimes because they fit with a lineup that works. But I'm under the field on Jarris Walker, only getting 12% fields at 19. Not a priority play. I think Potter and McConnell I would say they're also not priority plays, but at least they're good values. Jarris Walker's not even that. Aaron Nesmith, a worse version of Jarris Walker. Pascal Siakam, don't see how you pay his price tag. You really have to hope that he gets every single minute that he would normally get, and because they're so not concerned about the Knicks losing this game somehow. And if they are going to potentially lose the game, then the Pacers will pull guys. So I just don't think you want to play Siakam and Nembhard too much in general these days. But if you're going to play him, this spot against the Knicks is probably one of the spots you can play him. But no matter what, they're not going to get to like high 30s minutes. So that's something that does make them a bit less appealing at their price tags. Knicks on their side, your highest owned guy is going to be Karl-Anthony Towns. Got a good matchup on paper here. No Mitchell Robinson. That all helps out Cat. So you get why he's coming up. Jalen Brunson, Fields 24%, getting that same 24. Josh Hart, 20% for the field. I'm getting 25. Again, the Knicks coming up a lot here because their total's pretty good. And that's really the main thing that you need to know. And it's always gonna be the case in DFS. Jose Alvarado, his Knicks role hopefully will increase as time goes on. 3,500 though, he's definitely trying to fit in. One of the clips that went around of him from his first game with the Knicks was asking Jalen Brunson like where he wants the ball, and Brunson's just like, don't worry about it, man. Just like, just play your game. We'll figure it out. So Alvarado's definitely in like deferential mode right now. I don't think you want to play him in general currently, but he can get there with steals and stuff against a Pacers team that's not, trying as hard as maybe they might in other situations when they're not tanking so actively. So 3,500, definitely a value pivot. OG Anunoby, Fields at 8%. I'm getting 17. Looks okay. Bridges 6% for me. Fields at 10. Again, nothing here that's that great besides Cat, but Brunson willing to play it there with that total being where it is. Josh Hart willing to go there. Alvarado at 3,500. Not a bad price tag for a guy that can get there in ways that don't require usage. But Towns to me is definitely your key guy here. Finally watched DOR play. Dude hustles his ass off. Doesn't seem to translate to many peripherals. I mean, there's a difference between hustling and like ball sense, but I think DOR is an okay producer. I mean, when he had a smaller sample size, he was closer to like 0.9, 1 fantasy point per minute, but he's not anything special. Like he kind of needs, really any player who's like a DOR needs everybody who's not, who like normally gets shots up to not be available for that guy to play well fantasy wise. But DOR has got, I'll say some Jalen Tyson in him where he does a little bit of everything and maybe could do more if the cards broke his way, but I don't think they will. Other than, when the team's not trying at the end of the year or something, because they're just trying to keep the guys healthy for the playoffs. Clippers in Houston, 212.5 combined points here. Not a great total. Pace as well. Two low pace teams. Clippers at a 96 pace. Rockets at a 96 pace. Kawhi is the one I think you want to here. Half court Kawhi in a game that, 7.5 point spread can be a blowout, but it's not saying it definitely will be. I think at that level, for even a 10-point spread, I don't think it's saying it's going to be a blowout necessarily. For Kawhi here, think he's one of those guys, 10K. The Field's at 23%. I want to be with that no matter what. I'm at 21% right now. He's got, a ceiling that very few guys in the slate have. So despite the tough matchup, if the Clippers somehow hang in versus Houston, if they win this game, which is definitely, going to happen 20% of the time, something like that. I feel like for Kawhi, he's the guy you'd want in that kind of situation. So definitely don't want to be totally out on Kawhi, even if I'm under on him. Niederhauser is the one I'm getting the most, though. Besides Kawhi, getting 16%, Fields at 4. Nothing else stands out too much. Chris Dunn, Brooke Lopez, Derek Jones, they're all coming up a little bit. If you got them in a lineup or two, I wouldn't be mad about it. Kobe Sanders, Jordan Miller, not really seeing it for these guys at this point with their minutes not being up enough. They're really not absorbing a real role. Matherin's the one I'd consider taking a shot on if you got him starting. Don't know what his role will be on the Clippers, but I think there's a chance that he might come in and just gun as though he's the number 2 option on the team. At the very least, like a Norm Powell kind of situation from last year. I don't think for Mathurin there's any guarantee right now, but I am confused why Stokastic is only giving him 9.5 minutes. Like, if he's going to play 20 minutes at the very least. I don't think he'd play 10 and be active. Thoughts on Derek Jones if he starts? It's a short slate and there's not a lot of value, so you could take the shot, but projection-wise, I don't think he'll really come up. Houston on their side, I think the most interesting player to me is Şengün, but Tyrese is coming up the most. Fields at 13%, I'm getting 15. The price tag for Tyrese at 6,400 looks pretty good, but really not a super compelling play as a 4.8x value, though my projection is substantially higher than Stokastic's. I have Tyrese at 30.8. They have him at 28.6. Upward Şengün, we talked about earlier. Fields 10%, I'm getting 14. Do you think he's got another guy, much like Kawhi, big ceiling potentially, but a center that does require to kind of hit his true ceiling, triple-double upside, more shots to score the kind of points that he needs to. Going into a low-pace spot, maybe not where you want to be. But Şengün, happy to get above the field by a little bit. Kevin Durant, a little bit less happy to be above the field at 4.3x value projection for me. But, it's a short slate. Durant can hit a lot of shots. Fields at 6%. I'm getting 9. Reed Shepard a little bit up on as well. I'm getting 6%. The field's at 3. Jabari Smith getting 6%. The field's also at 3. Nothing too fun, but you'll get some guys. Dallas at Phoenix, 229.5, again, your best total on the slate. Two defenses that are firmly league average, so it's not like a soft matchup. But Cooper Flagg, happy to get to him now with his role really evolving in a positive way since AD's been off the court. Like we talked about earlier, he's putting up 1.2 fantasy sports minute and more than stable sample size of almost 2,000 possessions with AD off the court. Again, would feel better if you got anybody else from the team unavailable, especially Stokastic kind of quality player. But that said, for how Dallas looks at this point, I think it's mostly Flagg for me. Anybody who got ruled out would give me more Flagg. But do think that as it currently looks right now, it's Flagg or bust for Dallas. Nobody else on the team above a 4.6x value in my data. Najee Marshall's playing well enough, though. Like, if you want to just go box score watching, might be there a little bit more for him. Phoenix on their side, Devin Booker is going to be our high ownership guy for the field, 33% owned there. I'm getting 28. Not a big stand or anything, but do think you want to be close to the field for him, given the fact that total is so high and we just need to get whatever ceiling players that do spike meaningfully onto slate. Mark Williams never comes up in my data, and that's the case again today. Fields at 31%. I'm only getting him in 13. My projection is also about 3.5 fantasy points lower than Stokastic, so that's definitely part of why. I could see boosting Mark Williams, so I'm not totally out on him in case he gets like dead zeroed out in my lineups. That's a lot of ownership for the field, and I'm just not seeing it in my data. That said, I've missed on Mark Williams a few times this year, and it's weird. Like, I used to get him all the time when he was on the Hornets. Now in Phoenix, I'm just not getting him as much. Dylan Brooks, he is a guy I am getting a lot in Phoenix generally. Getting him at 29% today, Fields at 21. Brooks still gunning out there despite getting Jalen Green in the rotation, despite getting Devin Booker back in as well from injury. But Dylan Brooks, always a guy I think a fun tournament play on a short slate. The field's there, 21%. I have 29. Don't think you need to be much more above that. And Jordan Goodwin right now getting 10%. The field's at 15. Really don't know why he's coming up besides the fact he's shooting guard, small forward, at an okay price tag at 5,100. Yeah, I think it's really, to me, Booker and Brooks would be my preferred guys, but the field's getting Mark Williams. I don't want to be blind to that. Spurs at Lakers, 227.5 combined points here. We got Wemby coming up. About 26%. Castle, same thing. I think these guys are both about 33% in plays to me. I will highlight because it is unique, and I think sometimes when you see unique things in your data, maybe you play into it a little bit more. I'm just never above Stokastic on Wemby, and I am today. So I think there is something in the underlying data that does make Wemby scream out a little bit more today, based on what I'm seeing here. But Dylan Harper Fields at 24%. I'm getting 16. Not a priority play for me. Fox, never priority play lately with Castle and Harper as ascendants, really in particular. But Fox, 13% for the field. I'm getting 13. He is a guy who has a theoretical ceiling, even though per minute wise, he's safely behind Stephon Castle and closer to Dylan Harper than you would think on the year. Fox at 1.08 fantasy points per minute. Dylan Harper at 1 flat. But really, to me, it's Castle, Wemby, priorities. Harper, fade for me by a little bit, but I'm not going to be zeroed out into or anything. Fox, I'm a little bit above the field, but I'd be happy not to be. And Lakers side, like we talked about here, and I guess nobody said LeBron got ruled out, and I think the Lakers injury report came out. So I presume that means that LeBron is in, unless something happens here late. Let me just double check Underdog to make sure. Luka ruled out. Reeves also not ruled out? Am I assuming that correctly? Let me actually pull up the injury report here. Just came out, 2:30 injury report. Oh, no, it didn't come. Okay, so they haven't actually submitted their injury report, but we know Luka's going to be out. Okay, so we might still get LeBron and Reeves out. We just don't know that yet. But LeBron right now, 48% for the field. Like I mentioned, even with Luka and Reeves out in the data, even with me giving LeBron the generous rate uptick to get him to 1.5 fantasy points a minute, minutes-wise at 27 minutes with the matchup and the total they have, I just don't see LeBron being a priority play. He's under a 5x value for me. And that's despite my projection of being about 1 fantasy point higher than Stokastic. So I have LeBron in the data for 1.6 fantasy points a minute, but at 27.4 minutes, he's just not really getting there. That said, the ceiling, if they somehow compete in this game, somehow win it, he definitely can, win a slate for you. So I'm not going to be totally out on him, but I don't think he's a half your lineup kind of play if he does go today. Kennard looks like the best value, like we talked about. Fields at 34%, I'm getting 42. Vanderbilt as well, one of the better values. Fields at 33%, I'm getting 64. Those two guys can definitely be your top value plays on the slate. But if you got other Lakers starting, think you want to pivot to the guys who are starting here. Kennard off the bench, though, as a secondary scorer, I think he could still get there. Even if he didn't start, you'd feel a lot better, though, if you knew he was starting. Rui Hachimura Fields at 31% projection-wise for me. He's just not coming up enough. Only about a 19.5 projection for me. Stokastic's at 21.9. But Hachimura at 4,400. Really think you need LeBron out for him to come up more in my data. I feel like right now I'd be low on Rui, but certainly if you're playing Vanderbilt, if you're playing Luke Kennard, you probably want to have exposure to Rui because those guys were all the same play. It's just somebody who's not LeBron scores from the Lakers, and it could be one of them. Marcus Smart coming up as well. He's a 5x value for me. 25-point projection for me compared to 23 for Stokastic. Yeah, I think I'll get some Marcus Smart today. Yeah, I don't really love it or anything. He's not been shooting well in the year at 56% true shooting, only 0.7 fantasy points per minute. But with the guys who are out, the rate boost for having no Luka and no Reeves in the data set currently, Smart's coming up. DeAndre Ayton not coming up, only getting 24 minutes from Stokastic right now, with his minutes being down generally lately for the Lakers. Ayton's the guy who I would think naturally can get a lot more usage and take a lot more shots and be efficient enough with it. Match beside, obviously, going against Wemby and the Spurs. But with those minutes being that low, I think it's hard to really make a case for Ayton currently. And Maxi Kleber, another guy you just might need the shooting for because the team is just so depleted in terms of guys who can score. Kleber, 10% owned by the field. I'm getting 16. That's basically it. I mean, you get whatever Lakers you get. Feels like Connect, Jackson Hayes, Bronny James, still not playable here. Like, if you're ever going to dust off Connect, even him, I feel like you can make a case like he could get out there today, especially if LeBron were out. So that's really the big thing we need to know. You need to know if LeBron and Austin Reeves are going to be active today or not, because it's going to really affect things meaningfully. Kennard's a monster. For Reeves decides to not play today. I still wouldn't say monster. You got to keep in mind it's still only a 22.5 projection. I think sometimes people miss this. Frankly, it was an issue with Myron Gardner yesterday where he wasn't starting for the Heat. He didn't end up playing a lot of minutes in that game. Because Stokastic gave him like 20 minutes, he was getting about a 21, 22-point projection. And I think he got overplayed for me. I know he got overplayed for some people in Discord as well. You want to be mindful of, like, these are still guys that project for about 20 fantasy points. Even though, like, all the minutes, yeah, we assume the best for them, but, like, not a monster. Definitely not a monster. He's just a top value on a slate where we have no value, which I think there's an appreciable difference between. Are we going to go to Stokastic Sim in a moment here? Before we do that, let's take a quick look at my sim data. Again, you get this updated for yourself. 100,000 contest sims here now on the SplashPlayPodcast.com site whenever we run the data. So keep in mind, if you join the VIP tier, you get this for yourself updated throughout the night. Right now, Jared Vanderbilt making 64% of those winning lineups. Looks like a massive leverage play at only 32% owned by the field. Micah Potter, 48% of the winning lineups right now across 100,000 contest sims coming up. Karl Anthony Towns, 45% sim exposure across 100,000, contest sims. Have to get used to the new numbers I'm throwing out there. Guys scoring 30 plus the most, Wemby, Cat, Kawhi. 40 plus the most, Wemby, Kawhi, then Cat. So maybe some negative standard deviations for Cat available. 50 plus, Wemby, Kawhi, Cooper, Flag. Interesting that he comes up above Cat there. 60 plus, Wemby, Kawhi, Cooper, Flag as well. Guys, he 5x the most. Jared Vanderbilt 5xing, assuming that he gets the minutes that Stokastic has given him. 5xing 82% of the time. Micah Potter 78% of the time. Cat 66% of the time. So Cat more of a floor play than a ceiling play, I feel like, based on the sim. Jared Vanderbilt 47% of the time. He's 6xing. Micah Potter 32%. Luke Kennard 31%. So those are your guys that'll get the most of the value option. Nothing surprising there. Let's run the Stokastic sim, guys. Let's see what they have for us over here. Let me go to the contest generator and we'll pull up the tab. We're going to build 5,000 lineups out here and have them compete 10,000 times. And as Tiffany pointed out, I mean, Tiffany as well, pointed out earlier, we got a fresh update here, so we'll see what they have for us. But guys, before we get to the Stokastic sim, please show some love again. Hit that like button and subscribe. You guys know the deal. I've mentioned a few times throughout the video, but if you're just tuning in, 200 likes is really the threshold here for me to start getting above 2K views every video. And that's the goal. I really want to be, at this point, I think it's achievable, be the top NBA DFS video in the industry. So let's try to keep doing that. So hit that like button, subscribe, and in return, I'll keep showing up and doing the work here on Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. every day. And until the NBA Finals is my goal. So Please keep showing up here, and I'll keep doing the work on my end. Check out Stokastic, the sim you're seeing on screen. Get it for yourself for 15% off. And again, the big thing on Stokastic is idiot-proof DFS lineups that allow you to get the power of the best gamblers and DFS players in the world for kind of lineups that anybody can have success with. So check it out. Link down below. Then use the promo code SPLASHER to get over there to get 15% off any package, weekly, monthly, even yearly. And last but not least, join the channel here. $5 to join you if you want to get to the live chats or the Discord. It is $5. You can also see my updates throughout the night as well for the top 5 owned players, top 5 projected players, top 5 value players. But if you join the site, join the channel rather, you can access my splashplaypodcast.com site. On the Squirt Squad and VIP tiers, you'll get a lot of the screens I show you here on stream every day, updated throughout the night for whenever things change, Vegas total-wise, starting lineup-wise. So check it out, link down below, and join down below, and you'll get access, and it does really help me keep doing what I'm doing here. Would love to also see how high we can push those numbers, because the more you guys sign up, and frankly, the more you'll get out of it, and the more I get out of it too. So a real win-win across the board. All right, your top ROI lineups here. So Stokastic loves TJ McConnell, as you might guess, looking at these top lineups. But number 1 is TJ McConnell, Luke Kennard, Jarris Walker, Jared Vanderbilt. So lots of Lakers value. Karl Anthony Towns makes it. Castle makes it. Josh Hart makes it. Wemby makes it. So, Towns and Hart getting a bit of a rebound uptick on paper for having no Mitchell Robinson in today. Like we talked about, Cat and Wemby, if you're not paying down at center, paying up for those guys feels pretty good. This lineup, to me, nothing special, but it's your top ROI lineup. Number 2, McConnell again, Castle again, Josh Hart again, Vanderbilt again, Towns again, Luke Kennard again. Aaron Nesmith makes this one, and then Wemby makes it. So this core, guys, Stokastic thinks this core is worth its weight in gold right now. Obviously, if starters end up being weird, if something meaningfully changes in their data, it won't look the same. But right now, I mean, you're literally seeing the same lineup, but one with Jarris Walker, one with Aaron Nesmith. Number 3, you have McConnell again, Castle again. Kawhi makes this one. Jarris Walker makes it again. Cat makes it again. Kennard makes it again. Vanderbilt makes it again. And OG Anunoby makes it as well. Number 4, you have McConnell yet again. Tari Eason, Kawhi again. Micah Potter. Cat again. Kennard again. Vanderbilt again. Wemby again. Ooh, real samey stuff up top. And number 5, McConnell, Castle, Hart, Vanderbilt, Jay Huff, Kennard, Kawhi, Cat. It's happened like once or twice this year, and for a 4-game slate, obviously going to happen more. But man, that's like really one of the more samey like top lineups here. Like in terms of top Stokastic ROI lineups. A little bit surprised to see that. I mean, some of the players there not surprising to me. Those guys are coming up a lot. Of note, as Isaac points out, Isaac always all over the injury report. TJ's a Q tag, so yeah, that would certainly change things meaningfully. But it won't make anybody pop up more for Stokastic, I don't think. I guess maybe Nembhard would look slightly better. But again, he'll still be, likely capped at 30 minutes no matter what, because they don't want to win the game accidentally. But yeah, McConnell, beloved here by Stokastic. Your top ROI players, which shouldn't be a surprise based on what we just saw. Jared Vanderbilt, number 1, 12.5% ROI. Luke Kennard, number 2, at a 9.2% ROI. McConnell, number 3, at 6%. Kawhi Leonard, slightly behind at number 4. Wemby at number 5. Cat at number 6. So Vanderbilt, Kennard, McConnell, that is the Stokastic core based on what we just saw for the lineups and for the ROI. Top exposed players. Oops, I didn't fave them. Got Vanderbilt, number 1. He's a 94. Wow, he's in almost every lineup. I mean, look, I know after we saw Devin Carter also in 94% of the top 150 lineups yesterday, maybe you don't want to go back to that again. The Carter got there mostly, at least a value play at the end of the slate. Vanderbilt, he's not going to get usage, but he has been, what is his rate? He's putting up 0.82 fantasy points a minute in about 500 possessions. Actually, the second most possessions this year without Luka and without Austin Reeves on the court. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to question Vanderbilt too much, but that's a lot of Vanderbilt. 35% for the field, 94% in Stokastic's top 150. Luke Kennard, 34% for the field, 85% in Stokastic's top 150. So again, Vanderbilt, Kennard coming up a lot. Shouldn't be a surprise when we see all the other parts put together. TJ McConnell, 26% owned by the field. They wanted to get 66. A massive stand on McConnell as well. And that Vanderbilt, Kennard, McConnell core going to not go away unless something changes on the slate, if I had to guess. Karl Anthony Towns, 39% owned by the field. They wanted to get 62. Stokastic, loving Cat. Again, a good floor play, I think, no matter what. I'd question the ceiling a little bit based on his, some of the rates we saw in my sim. But I like Cat usually, and he does pop up for me today too. Kawhi, you're getting 49% of the field. You're getting 22. So Kawhi, definitely a big stand here, more than 2x the field. Wemby, not far behind, almost 2x the field on him. You're just spending your money around, it looks like, in these Stokastic lineups. Your highest leverage players right now, Jared Vanderbilt, 59% more in the field. Luke Kennard at number 2, 50% more in the field. McConnell, 40% more. Kawhi, 26% more. Cat, 23% more, who's just ahead of Wemby at 20% more. But this is it. Like, this is based on the stands here, this is your whole 4-game slate, according to Stokastic right now. It's just going to be Vanderbilt, Kennard, McConnell, Kawhi, Cat, and Wemby getting rotated around these guys. Negative leverage plays, your biggest fades. Massive fade in LeBron. Okay, so they're with me on this. Negative 36% leverage on LeBron, only 14% exposure. Again, I put, even before looking at their data, I put my questioning face for LeBron on the thumbnail. We'll see if he plays or not, but if he does play, Stokastic's fading him, it looks like. The field is not. Jose Alvarado, negative 16% leverage. Do you think at 3,500 he's a value pivot, but I don't expect him to produce outlier days right now. Does seem like he's got to get acclimated before he starts putting up some more shots, and they'll give him a real ceiling. Jordan Goodwin, negative 11% leverage. I really don't get why he was coming up for me either at 5,100. But yeah, I'm cool with that fade. Dylan Harper, negative 11% leverage. Sure. Mark Williams, negative 10% leverage. That one I'm also on board with. And then they're fading Dylan Brooks, fading Rui. Yeah, okay. Let's build a lineup here, guys. We'll see what we get. Let me pull up my matrix screen here so I could build out this handy well enough. And today I'm actually going to remember to switch the tab over because that is one of my weaknesses. I admit it. Forgot yesterday. It's my bad. Today we're on the right tab. All right, point guard. Point guard for me right now be Luke Kennard. Again, don't think he's a monster play. Don't think he's going to score 50 here or anything. But if he does play 30 minutes, he'll have a shot to do that. And if he does play 30 minutes, he'll probably get you to 20 plus. So Luke Kennard coming in here. Fortunately, unavoidable, I think. Shooting guard, Stephon Castle, Devin Booker. I'll go Castle. I think this Lakers team, not worried about the defense here. Matchup seems like Spurs should be able to run away with it. I think Castle has a ceiling in those kind of spots. Small forward for me would be Cooper Flagg, Dylan Brooks, Josh Hart, all of them around a 30% sim win rate. But I'll go Flagg here. I'll plant my flag for Cooper Flagg first. Good total in that game, as we've talked about enough times. Power forward in the data is Vanderbilt. Obviously, sim would not avoid him, so let's give the sim what it wants. For me now, it would be Micah Potter. But I could also put him in at forward and take the center spots. So let's go Cat. My sim loves Cat. Stokastic loves Cat as well. Let's put in Potter at forward. Potter wasn't coming up as much for Stokastic, so I'm not sure if they're going to like him as a play, but we'll try it out because he's coming up in my data right now. Hopefully I didn't move his minutes around too much. All right, now we got a guard and utility, 7,150 left for these last two spots. We've got Flagg. We've got Cat. Let's try to play Wemby. That leaves us 4,600 left for a guard. And that's Laravia, who does feel somewhat contrarian on the slate. So we'll go here. The team is going to be Luke Kennard, Stephon Castle, Cooper Flagg, Jared Vanderbilt, Karl-Anthony Towns, Jake Laravia, Micah Potter, and Victor Wembanyama. 90% ROI, 0.2% win rate. I don't mind that. Shout out Pops for joining here. Hope can't see what tier you joined on, but hopefully it's one of the good ones. But shout out to Pops supporting the channel here, no matter what you joined on. I appreciate it a bunch. See Alvarado over Micah Potter. Of course you do. Of course. But I mean, look, they're honestly very similar plays. Potter, though, there's room for him to play and produce. Alvarado is a backup point guard on a team that has more than enough guards. So, whatever you want to do, Georgia. We're going to give you guys my splash plays for the day. Before I do that, one more ask, guys. Like button, subscribe. You guys know the deal here. Again, trying to break through that glass ceiling on YouTube, and the more you guys hit that like button, the more that helps me out here. So please, the growth right now in the channels, we're going like this. So let's just keep doing it as best we can. Of course, I'm going to keep doing the work throughout the NBA Finals here, Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. So join me for that journey by hitting that like button and subscribing here. Check out Stokastic as well. Again, 15% off, and it does support the show. Anytime you guys sign up, some money comes back to me, and of course, it's a big reason I'm able to do what I do. So join down below. Use that promo code SPLASH over there. Get 15% off any package, weekly, monthly, even yearly. And of course, join the channel here. $5 to join down below. You got the live chats, the Discord, if you join for $5, if you join the Squirt Squad and the VIP tiers, you get a lot more. All the things on the splashplaypodcast.com site. And it's not just NBA. If you join the Squirt Squad package, you get all my Squirt Squad stuff for NFL, for NBA, for MLB coming up. If you're in the VIP tier, you're getting everything I have on the site. It's, I think, a really good deal for you guys right now as I am trying to get this off the ground. So join down below. Click the links and click the community tab in particular if you want to see how to get access right away. Basically, just sync your YouTube to Discord and use your Discord to log in on my site, and you'll be good to go. And soon, I think over the All-Star break, I'm going to get the Stripe stuff in, so you guys can just pay directly if you want, because I think the Discord is confusing for people still. That's not up yet, so right now you got to do it through Discord, and it'll be good to go. All right, splash plays for the day. Again, right now, this could move around. Watch your starters, but Kennard has to be one. Just he's too good of a value. Vanderbilt has to be one, too good of a value. We don't know who's going to be playing for the Lakers' sake because injury report's not out yet as the time I'm doing this show, but assuming those guys go, they're a little bit too cheap for what look like very concrete roles in the Lakers' rotation according to Stokastic. I'll say Castle for me is a splash play. Going to have him above the field. Cat and Wemby, I think, are both splash plays. And Flag and Potter. Again, this is not, I'm not trying to give you guys every player on the slate, but like these are guys I definitely will be above the field on based on what I'm seeing in my data right now. And they'll be key parts of my core. So, follow your hearts. Make sure to gamble responsibly, guys, even though it is always money time here on the Splash Play channels. Follow me at Chris Spags. Follow this channel at Splash Play Bets on YouTube. On Twitter at Splash Play Pod will get you all my NBA and NFL content in one place. And I'll see you guys again soon. So, hey, enjoy your guys' day, guys. Tonight's slate as well starts at 7:30 Eastern, so keep that in mind. You got to be on the ball a little bit later today than usual, but do that. And shouts out the sickos out there, as always. I've been closing out this graphic a lot lately, but I enjoy it. I feel like this is good AI, all right? This is good AI. But I'll see you guys again soon. Enjoy your days. Good luck. Bye-bye. Catch me in the Discord. And I said all the things. All right, bye. Bye. Bye.